Hello guys, let's continue with the discussion of servlet. Now in this what we'll say is, we'll see the importance of this get method and post method. Now in our earlier example, let me run this again. So right click run. Now in this, if I pass a number like 25 and 36, if you add these two numbers, the answer will be 61, right? But you can see the variables of my HTML or the fields of my HTML are coming in this address bar, which means this servlet, this add servlet, is fetching the values from fetching the values from address bar. What it means is, if I go to this add, when I say get parameter, it will fetch this value of t1 from address bar, which is 25. Then if I say get parameter t2, it will fetch the value of t2 from address bar. Now to prove this, let me change this value from 36 to 1. Okay, and if I say enter now, you can see the output is 26, which means 25 plus 1 is 26. So this is get. The problem with get is it's not secure. Like example, if you're going for login username and password, so it will reveal your username and password on address bar, which is not secure. To make it secure, what we need is we have to make it as post. So what this post will do is, let me run this code, you will understand by yourself. If I say post and two numbers as 34 and 12, the answer should be 46, and the answer is 46, right? But you can see there is no value of t1 and t2. Then question arises, in the case of post, from where this request parameter t1 value will come from? And the answer is cookies. So by default, when you say post, it will store your data in some local storage from where this request parameter will fetch the value. Now question arises, which is better? Is it your post or get? Now as we know, post is more secure because we don't have any values in address bar. But in case of post, your data will be stored in local storage. Then your HTML page or servlet page will fetch it. It will take some time for the processing, right? But if you talk about your get method, it will directly fetch data from address bar. That means it's much faster than post, but post is more secure than get. So which one to use is depend upon the requirement. If your requirement is security, then you have to go for post. If your requirement is speed, you can go with get, right? And then now let's see what is this service method means. Now service is a method which belongs to a generic servlet, which belongs to a class called GenericServlet. But because of the introduction of HTTP servlet, we have some two new types of service. And those two new types is, one of them is doPost and second one is doGet. Now depend upon client page. If your client is requesting for post, it will call doPost. If your client is requesting for get, it will call doGet. Now let's see in a current scenario, if I make it as get, it will call doGet. If I make it as get, it will call doGet. Let me run this code. And as we can see, it's 656, 656, 712, and it's working with get. But what if I make this as if I make my HTML as post? Now what it should follow? It should follow a post method or it should follow a get method. First let me see if it's working, if it works or not. Man, this code, no errors till now, because in HTML you will rarely find any errors. And then when I click on add, it will generate an error which says HTTP method post is not supported, which means you're calling a post but there is no specific method called as doPost here. That's why we have to say doPost. It will call doPost now. And now if I enter detail as 88 and 99, and the answer is 187, which means it's working with post now. Now question arises, how would we know as a programmer that which type of method a client will use? Client can use post, client can use get, right? And it should give output in both the cases. Now if you want to restrict your client only to use post, you can use doPost. If you want to restrict your client use only get, you can use doGet. But what if you want to give your client a freedom to use any method? For that, you have to define both the methods. You have to define doGet also, and you have to define doPost also. So what it means is copy the code and paste. This time instead of doPost, we'll say doGet. Now depend upon if user say post, it will call doPost. If user will say get, it will call doGet. But now we can see we are writing this code twice, right? We are writing the same code twice. So what we can do is to solve this problem, we'll create one more method as process request. Again, it should take two parameters. One is HTTP servlet response, the same one we are using above, and we'll say req, and then HTTP servlet response, we'll say res. Again, I want to throw the exception, so we'll say copy the exception, paste, and then instead of defining all this in both the instead of defining all this statement in two functions, what we can do is we can just define this in only one function, and then we can call these functions from our doGet or doPost. We can do the same task in here. That's it. And since we don't want this, we can hide it. We can hide these two lines, and our main focus is processing will be done by this. So if you say get, if you say post, it will call this post, and in post you are calling process request, so it will do all this processing. If you say get there, it will call this doGet, again it will call the process request. So that means you have to write the main logic only once, and you can run this multiple times, or you can call this from any function. Now, and that's now what if I create a new servlet? Let me show you the actual servlet what the Java provides or NetBeans provides you. And as I finish, you can see when you run this code, by default you get a method called as process request, and here you have doGet and doPost, right? It is inbuilt. So most of the time when you write a servlet, by default you will get lots of things, and you have to focus on your business logic, right? So this is the code for addition of two numbers using servlet. I hope you got some details about servlet here, and do subscribe for the further videos. Thank you so much for watching.